Crystal Edge Technology Screens, or FLE VT company. One of the things I'm talking about in this video is why your ultra short throw projectors, the long throw projectors will not work without the FLE technology, or FLE Quasar technology. It's the last screen paint we're ever going to develop. As I said before, we're going to be working over into physical screens after this, and if we're going to design a screen paint, and it's going to be the last one we're going to do, I want the mother of all screens, and this is what we have. This is what we nicknamed the mother of all screens. What can this technology do that other screen paints can't do? Well, one thing, it's ultra short throw compatible. A lot of screen paints don't do that. Keep in mind that it can pull an Infinity 1 contrast level, which means an ultra black level without your projector having high contrast capabilities, which at the end of the day, you're going to pay for. So again, not required because the screen's automatically jet black, the screen paint's automatically jet black. Very easy to apply. You will get no instructions in the box because you don't need instructions, because it's extremely easy to paint. Literally, your kids can paint that screen for you. Also, too, it has weatherproof capabilities. Now, we know much about weatherproofing because I've done a lot of weatherproof screens. I've had screens sit up in backyards for at least about 3-4 years easily. So to show that you have to have, at least if you're doing weatherproof screens, you have to have at least a screen outside for 1 year to show exactly how it's going to deal with the different types of elements and changing of weather. So you just can't say it's weatherproof without that year proof. The technology works with projector mapping applications, which we do own the hardware to say that. So the laser system that we use for projector mapping to paint stuff in to be the Project 2 basically cannot read black levels off gray screens or white screens. It won't register at all, period. Again, also too, another form of beautiful thing you can do with this screen if you're doing a dedicated theater room. Not only can you paint your screen and use it in a fully lit environment, but you can also paint your ceiling, turning that into an infinity ceiling, and that's going to save you 10 to 20 grand because you have to look at the same twinkling stars. You could change it at will, which we showed you demonstrations for lights on involving ceilings. On top of that, it has an invisible counterpart attached to it, which means this screen has visible capabilities. You have to basically click it in the shopping cart, which means this is fantastic for acoustic screens, Halloween screens or special effects screens, visual art, visual display, special effects, projector mapping applications. Again, submersible projection screens. Also, too, if you're using inflatable projection screens, we advise using invisible technology instead because of the bleed-through process. On top of that, there's so many different applications you can use it for. Those who have this big bulky projector, especially the Epson LS800, that's a huge machine. You can take the invisible version of this technology and basically design you this beautiful sheet of plexiglass, stick your projector behind it, and then it reacts and looks more like a TV. And for those people who want to question my ability, my knowledge on invisible technology, well, I launched a couple of promos to show you at the end of the day how much I know versus everybody else. So I'm quite skilled in that category. And black technology, we go back 7, 8 years, about 8 years we go back in black technology, so we've been doing this a lot longer than everybody else. So, just to show you, this is one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves, that our projection screen, our projector, is going to be able to fix the problem. Now, most screens we're going to run into, we've done tons of certified screens, easily can challenge those screens and overpower the screens with no problem. We've done tons of gray screens and gray fabrics and paints and all that stuff. And I used to make gray screen paints back in the day, so I know gray screen paints. Quite aware of that product. The only screen we're really going to bump into and being on site, which is white screens. That's it. That's pretty much what we're going to run into. And people feel that the white screens, for some reason, because they're brighter, they pull better color. White screens don't pull color correctly. They have poor contrast, and they're not ambient light projection technology. So, biggest lie we tell ourselves, we buy a real beefy, high-powered projector, and we feel that all that technology and that projector is going to transfer to the screen. It's not. That screen's going to make up for 99% of your projector's performance. You can't count on the projector. So let's get this started here. Let me see. I'm going to bring it back farther for that one. And let's see some beautiful birds over here. Let's give you an idea. That without our technology, your projectors don't function. Now, for those of you saying, well, my stuff works. No, it doesn't work at all, period. You're not picking up colors. You're not picking up contrast. I put a nice YouTube challenge out there. In that YouTube challenge, It's to have people take the projectors, put it in a fully lit environment, show me a star field. If you can't read an Infinity 1 contrast level, then that means your screen does not function correctly. And we have one person out there saying here's the cheapest screen painter in the market at 60 bucks. Well, first things first, there's no testing on your products. I know, I've done it, I've done the research. I did the research on every company, and we can't find any testing on the product. So we can't find no testing on the products. The product claims to be rear projection. You can't roll in a rear projection, you'll damage the screen. On this product, you have to pick a certain, on the shopping cart, there's a selection you pick up. It allows you to pick up the invisible version of this, but it's spray on only, because you can't roll this and you'll damage your screen. So he has no knowledge of that. That screen paint came up gray. First time I saw it, came up gray a couple times. That's extremely bad. That's a poor, poor sign of the screen. You can't even label it up as black if you come up gray. Another problem, I've seen very little angle gains on that screen, so we don't know how it reacts with angle gains. It's not ultra short though compatible, which is very important for a black screen. It has a 2000 lumen mark on it, which means minimum is 2000, which is poor because black screens can absorb 10 times more light. They have better gain capabilities. It should be able to register at 50 lumens with no problem. 1000 lumens, easy. Under 2000, that's not good. That's really poor. So, not a very good product. And then on top of that, the instruction capability to paint the screen in, that's another nightmare on its own. So screens are supposed to be easy to apply, should be easy to do. And another thing, which is a huge red flag, gain range, which again, we don't even know what it is. Nobody knows what it is. Quite frankly, the person who made it, they don't even know what it is because we got no videos explaining what this stuff is. So it doesn't do what it's designed to do. That's why there's no customer reviews on it, because nobody wants to trust it because they don't know what they're getting themselves into. Also, on the other hand, we've been doing this for quite some time, so our credibility in developing black technology goes far back. That's why we can do these. Now, getting to our technology here, as you can see, the white surface, white screens, and for those who didn't understand, well, that's not the same as a white screen. I've done that demonstration already, showing the reason why that white projection screens are the same as a white sheet of paper. Same thing. White t-shirts does the same thing. White bed sheets do the same thing on a white screen. Some white screens will say, well, we had this gain, it's like a 0.1 or 2.0. We pull up a higher white level, from what I've seen in my research, all the same. Excuse me, I got nothing but birds singing on that side. So you can see ultra short throw. My ultra short throw is 3600 lumens. Ultra short throw, which is sitting right on top of the screen, and long throw, you're not picking up anything at all. So if you're near a gray screen, you're not reading nothing. You can't pick up contrast, so that you're going to be stuck in the dark with that right there, so it's not going to work. White screen's definitely not going to work. Gunmetals are very, very expensive screens. If you're going to spend $3,000, $7,000 for a screen, then we could pretty much beat with $500. So basically getting down to it, our technology is the best. It's the most tested technology on the market. We have the match or better or deny me not. These are demonstrations we put out to challenge other people to compare their product. People tend in the day they the same thing as our products. That's what the match or better or deny me not challenges are. They're basically put out there so we could see if anyone can match the demonstrations under the mother of all screens. And there's no one been able to challenge them yet. It's one thing to say that your product is more superior than others. You have to be to show it's more superior than others.
Mi toca, es una extensión de mi ser, mi cultura.
Yeah, if someone's saying weatherproof, you should be seeing demonstrations in the rain, demonstrations in the snow. Now, if they live pretty much in a state where they can't get snow, well, guess what? You have freezers. You can freeze your screens. Same thing, same simulator, same freeze screens. We froze the screens into blocks of ice and tore them out of blocks of ice. Have to be to show that your screen paints are weatherproof. You just can't say it. Because you run the risk of basically heat hitting the screen and washing the screen out, or cracking it, screens becoming brittle, through heat, through rain, through snow, the fluctuation of temperature. This can disrupt the screen quick. So in order for you to say that you're weatherproof, you have to have a screen outside at least about a year. About 1 year to do it. And you get a changing of seasons. Doing demonstrations in ultra dark environments, ambient light controlled environments, complete fail. Because it tells your customers that they're going to be stuck in the same environment, and I don't think the customer wants to be stuck in a dark environment all day. I watched that with people with dedicated theater rooms set up that they want to show off their setup. They want to show off their movie chairs and their posters and their dedicated luxury setups. But they can't have the screen on. If you turn the screen on, it washes out. You get this faded image on their screen, but you see this beautiful, beautiful dedicated theater room setup. They can't do both. My customers and we can do both. I can show up a fully lit environment, my screen at the same time, and pull off an infinity ceiling at the same time. So we're going to put a challenge out there. Because if I say at the end of the day that without our technology, your screens don't work, then we're going to make this a challenge. So we call this the YouTube Mother of All Screens Challenge. And if you don't know the mother of all screens, that is the Quasar. Alright, so let's begin. We'll put this challenge out. I got to pop over to Facebook. I got some demonstrations over to do. Hope you enjoyed the demonstration. I'd like to thank you for your time for coming in. Our Quasar technology is available on our website with free worldwide shipping. As you can see, the advancements that you will receive off our technology. You can operate in fully lit environments. Our screens are ultra short throw compatible, as you can see. They look fantastic. Our projectors are cheap, which means we don't have to spend a lot of money, because you can't save money. You can't tell people to save money if you can't save money yourself. This is my projector also used. This is a Sony, if I can get it in there. Yeah, there we go. Sony VPL CX100. That's an XGA projector. And again, this one's not using any form of HDMI ports. It's a VGA to HDMI adapter. So we're all basically VGA over here, and we're HDMI over here. And to show you that the quality that you're going to get from our product, the advancements you're going to get for your projector, of getting exactly what you paid for. What's the point of doing the research, paying the money for a very good projector, if you're just going to get probably less than 50% of your projector's performance? And no one wants to be stuck in dark environments with overpriced, expensive, ultra short throws, just to end up, again, in the dark with an expensive ultra short throw projector. Let's get something over here. Oh, did the P2 do this demonstration? It did. And the problem with that is it didn't pull it correctly. Game didn't match at all. Okay, let me get this right there. All right, hope you enjoyed. I'll be doing my challenge in a few minutes. Of course, we thank our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for blessing us with amazing technology, because without Him, none of this would be possible.